The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Food supply issues in the country might just get worse as neighbors Thailand and Vietnam plan to raise the prices of rice exports. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us the front seat to the story.
Thailand and Vietnam are reportedly in talks to raise the prices of rice, which means trouble for the Philippines. Thailand is the world's #2 rice exporter and Vietnam is third. Together, they're the biggest source of imports for the country. The issue is that their farmers have been struggling under higher production costs, just like here. Fertilizer costs, for instance, have tripled.
Dati po mga 1,000, ngayon po ay humigit po lang mga 3,000 isang bag. Farmers are now cutting back on their fertilizer use. It will have an impact on the harvest.
The group was warned weeks ago that we're facing a shortage in local rice supply, and that was before Thailand and Vietnam started talking.
We're facing a drop in palay production of about 1.1 million metric tons. That would represent roughly about 15 days supply.
This comes on top of other food supply shortages globally, worsened by the ongoing war in Ukraine. Fast food chains like McDonald's are still unable to sell large-sized French fries due to a potato shortage. Restaurant chain Mary Grace Cafe ran out of its famous ensaimadas due to raw material issues. And in recent days, Mang Inasal and Angel's Burger also had to limit certain menu items.
So we have to increase our prices, but that can drive down sales as well. So it's a balance of so many new things, and that balance point shifts every day.
Teng says it's not just global shipping issues. The local supply chain is also problematic.
Interestingly, vegetable prices in China went up by 24%, and yet in Benguet, 2 days ago, people were calling me that they're about to throw away carrots. We have the supply, but sometimes it's just not getting to the market at the right time.
The Agriculture Department has warned of global food crisis, which could be felt later this year. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
The LTFRB is now investigating ride-hailing firm Joyride, following a complaint about the company's priority fee. Joyride assures the riding public that this fee is merely optional for their customers. Jenny Dawn with the details.
As the hustle and bustle returns to normal in the metro, commuters are once again scrambling to get on public transport, especially during rush hour. One of them is Pao, who uses app-based riding services like Joyride to travel to the nearest MRT station. She says there were times that booking a rider takes up to half an hour and that she has an option for a priority fee.
Pag nag-priority, mga 10 to 15 minutes lang. Pero pag di ka nag-priority tapos rush hour, 30 minutes wala yan.
Mga magkano ma? May 20 ba?
Mga 40 pesos. Ganun. Hindi ko kiniklik kasi ang mahal na nga nung booking. Pag magpa-priority ka pa, ganun din, maghihintay ka din naman.
Meanwhile, Micah, who is also a Joyride user, says she doesn't see any problem on priority fees but admits that she haven't used it yet.
Oo naman, kasi sobrang daming commuters eh. Kasi ano ba naman yung 50 lang para makauwi ka na maaga, di ba?
When booking on the Joyride app, users are presented with the option to add priority fee with amounts ranging from 20, 50, 100 up to 200 pesos. There's also an option for a custom fee which has a maximum amount of 1,000 pesos. Due to an anonymous complaint, the LTFRB has flagged this option and is now investigating the ride-hailing app. Because of this, the agency also warned other transport network companies or TNCs against charging riders extra fees that are against TNVS fares. In a statement, Joyride says that they haven't received tips of charging 1,000 pesos for a one-way ride on its priority boarding fee. The company also clarifies that priority fees are optional and not compulsory, and that this can be considered as a tip to the driver. Joyride assures that they will follow LTFRB guidelines. Other transport network companies have yet to issue a statement on the matter. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Senator Risa Ontiveros remains coy on whoever will comprise the Senate minority in the incoming 19th Congress. Speaking to 1PH, Ontiveros confirms that she and Senator Coco Pimentel are still in talks on who will join the minority slate, as she added that they will ensure that the upper chamber will have a true minority to ensure checks and balances within the Senate. Ontiveros also said that they will release the new members of the minority before the first SONA of President-elect Bongbong Marcos.
Nag-uusap kami ni Sen Coco tungkol sa pagbubuo ng minorya. Nagkakaisa po kami na gaano man kami karami or kakaunti, ang mahalaga ay unang-una maging tunay na minorya kami na gaganap sa tungkuling mag-check and balance, mag-fiscalize. Meron pa namang couple of months para makapag-usap lahat ng gusto talagang pumasok sa minorya. Sigurado sa umaga ng July 25, opening of session po, at bago ang SONA ay magdedebu na po ang minorya ng 19th Congress.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Lawmakers and workers are calling for the suspension of PhilHealth's premium hike. Others, meanwhile, are calling for its exemption. Shaila Francisco with the story.
As prices of commodities soar, Ezekiel is now on a tight budget. But it seems like he will need to further tighten his belt as his take-home pay is set to decrease starting this month. This on the back of PhilHealth raising its premium rate to 4% this year from the previous 3%. PhilHealth will now collect anywhere between 400 and 3,200 pesos from the previous 300 to 1,800 peso collection. The hike is retroactive, so members would have to pay an additional 1% for the months of January to May. They can pay the remaining amount until December 2022. With this, Ezekiel says he was not even able to enjoy the minimum wage hike set to take effect this month.
Dinagdagan nga po ng 33 ang minimum natin. Dinagdagan naman po yung singil ng PhilHealth. Eh di parang sa PhilHealth lang mo napunta, sumobra pa. Parang useless po yung pagdagdag ng sahod. Malaking bagay po kasi yan eh. Pwede ka nang mag-ulam ng manok eh. Kung mababawasan pa yung sahod namin, eh di baka mag-itlog na lang po kami.
The hike covers employees, self-paying individuals, self-practicing professionals, and OFWs. The Federation of Free Workers is now calling to lower the contribution of minimum wage earners to 100 pesos, noting they are still suffering amid the pandemic. They also want OFWs to be exempted from mandatory payment. Locally, monthly contributions are divided between the employers and members, but OFWs need to shoulder the whole rate.
Dapat hindi na po compulsory para sa mga OFW natin ang pagbabayad sa premium ng PhilHealth sapagkat unang-una hindi naman nila na-enjoy sa kung nasa labas sila ng bansa. Wala naman mga PhilHealth accredited hospital doon at may mga insurance naman po sila na binabayaran para sumagot sa kanilang mga...
While PhilHealth understands their concerns, they say they are duty-bound to collect higher payments under the Universal Health Care Act. The state however, assured that services will be improved amid the higher collection. PhilHealth expects to collect around 205 billion pesos that will be used in programs such as COVID-19 benefits, outpatient care for malnutrition and mental health patients, among others.
Napakalaki ng benefit nito. Ayaw man natin magkasakit, no? Ayaw man, iniiwasan natin na tayo'y magkaroon ng karamdaman. Pero kung ito ay dumating sa atin, ay kitang-kita natin kung gaano kalaki yung tulong.
PhilHealth says they can only suspend the hike through a law, which is why the Makabayan Bloc has filed a resolution seeking to defer the hike. But this was not acted upon. They say they will refile it when the 19th Congress opens. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
With environmental waste becoming a more pressing issue in the country, Smart Infinity, in partnership with Signal TV, is set to release the third episode of Infinite Legacies, a docu-series that puts a spotlight on today's changemakers. One of them is Philux founder Stephanie Gonzalez. Philux is a homegrown luxury furniture manufacturer that combines impeccable taste and Filipino craftsmanship. Gonzalez's advocacy, self-sufficiency of local artisans, and an environmentally conscious lifestyle. Now, Philux, together with Smart Infinity, has partnered with Green Ants Builders to repurpose waste into construction materials and to create sustainable and environmentally responsible communities. Catch Stephanie Gonzalez's story on Infinite Legacies, which will air on Sunday, June 5 at 7 p.m. here on One News.
A change maker is someone who lives a life of purpose, someone who can pay it forward and inspire others to do the same. I do what I do because I would love to be a continuous work in progress, to learn from others and from my experiences in the hopes of paying it forward. I also hope to continue living an inspired life.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The Health Department warns Metro Manila may log 7,000 average daily COVID-19 cases by July. That's if booster vaccinations remain low. The camp of President-elect Bongbong Marcos has selected the National Museum as the venue for his inauguration. And in UAAP Season 84 Women's Volleyball, the UP Fighting Maroons finally fought off their losing streak after winning against the FEU Lady Tamaraws, while the NU Lady Bulldogs remain undefeated after crushing the Adams and Lady Falcons in 3 sets out of 4. And those are the top stories of this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.